Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Selena, and I like to call myself your holistic guide, GAPS guru. I like to talk about all things non-toxic living, food, emotions, and really just creating a healthy life, a healthy home. And so today I'm going to be answering the big question of what if you're not ready for GAPS? I have a lot of people in my life, and if you're watching this, you know who you are, who really just aren't ready to take such a big, dramatic step in the area of health and lifestyle changes all at once. For whatever reason, it could feel really overwhelming. It might be a really busy season. Maybe you just aren't really sure what you believe yet about nutrition and healing your body. Maybe you want to just get your feet wet and dabble in a little bit before diving all the way in. So in this video, I'm going to explain 3 shifts that you can make with food that are going to be the most impactful if you're looking to just start really small, really simple. I know healthy eating and healing can sometimes feel really daunting at times, and I totally understand that. My goal here is to really just help make that process easy and manageable, especially while you may not actually be feeling well. So I will give this caveat that if you're already on the GAPS diet and you're planning on traveling, these are 3 things I found to be really crucial for me for maintaining my health while I'm away from home, away from my kitchen. So you can use these hacks, some of the good ones that I'll explain, if you're needing something a little less intensive for a shorter period of time as well. So let's jump in. So I want to start by saying that not everyone is at the same emotional capacity to change things in their diet. So each of these 3 things I'm going to give you a good, better, and best option so that you don't feel too overwhelmed. These changes can kind of fit into your lifestyle right now in a more practical and sustainable way. That being said, for each of these 3 things, I personally would choose and recommend to do the more extreme of the options and the best of the options. And the reason I'm trying to do that is because I'm really trying to optimize my healing time. And also, my body has really grown to enjoy and love the foods prepared. I'll explain which of the 3 I think is the most important at the end, but I've found that these are 3 ways that can really speed up healing time. So that's why I do it, but do what's best for you. The first food on my list is going to be raw milk kefir. And this is because of the extremely high probiotic content in kefir. There are over 61 different strains of beneficial yeasts in kefir. That's about 60% more than most of the top-notch $60 probiotic store-bought brands. And like I've said in other videos, I really believe that health begins in your gut. So one of the top things that I'm going to be giving you is going to be helping to really rebuild that microbiome, diversify it with different strains of yeasts. This step alone can cause a lot of detox. So I really recommend introducing it slowly and listening to your body. But here's the thing. A lot of people recommend, and I recommend, and I do this, is that having fermented foods with every meal, at least every day, is a really good way to boost your diet, boost your gut microbiome. But I still understand that that can be a lot of change for people since it requires you to change your taste buds, and our standard American diet has us craving a lot of sugar. Something kind of sour can not really taste as good. So I really recommend starting where you can, but I would say if there's one that is the top best ferment, I would say that it's kefir. And I would argue that this is the most powerful ferment because it's got just the most variety of strains of bacteria. So it's going to be the most beneficial to your gut. If you drink some kefir daily, it's going to be a huge win for your body. And a few ways that I like to drink kefir are in smoothies. I've made ice cream with kefir. You can put kefir in coffee if you want. Just find ways to kind of incorporate it naturally into your diet. Smoothies are one of my favorite ways to. Okay, so let me give you the good, better, best. The best is gonna be raw milk kefir that you made at home by yourself, sourced from organic grass-fed animals. But if you can't do that right now, a good option is just to start taking a probiotic pill. I recommend BioCult. That's also what Dr. Natasha recommends. I will leave a link in the description box below where you can purchase BioCult. But start where you can, and a pill in the morning really isn't that crazy of an adjustment for most people. As time goes on, you might feel like you could incorporate maybe 2 pills. The more, the better. And that's why I would say, if that's all you can manage, do that. Now, an even better option is going to be store-bought kefir. So the reason that this isn't the best option is because most store-bought kefir is pasteurized, which inevitably kills some of the probiotic, and it's really not ideal, but it is also in food form. So if you can afford to have it daily like this, if you're just buying it from a store, for is really gonna benefit your gut health in the long run. Okay, so the best option here is going to be to make your own kefir. I know that can be really intimidating, so I will link a video below where I go through how to make kefir and some hacks that I've learned for saving time. But you guys, it probably takes me about 30 minutes out of my entire week. My husband and I go through a gallon of kefir a week. It's very manageable. It's very much worth it. The cost benefit analysis is totally worth it, and the health benefits are really, really great. If you can source raw milk from a farm near you, that's the best. But if you can't, don't let that stop you. You can go to the store and buy store-bought milk. Just avoid the ultra pasteurized milk. Try your best to find organic. If you can find vat pasteurized, that's gonna be the best. It's gonna have the most probiotics. I even know people who have raw milk shipped to their house. It costs a little bit more, maybe sometimes like $50 for shipping, but if you're interested, I'll leave a link to buy raw milk online. At the end of the day, kefir is the best when it's made yourself because you really maintain all those beneficial probiotics and all the enzymes that are needed to really help digest that milk. Okay, so my next tip is, and this is kind of the crazy one for our culture, but that is beef liver. That's right, you guys. I believe that beef liver is one of the most nutrient dense foods in the world. And the crazy part is that it's usually the part of the animal that people just throw away. People have said it's like taking a multivitamin, but it's even better because it's food-based. So that means that your body's really able to assimilate those nutrients. Now listen, maybe the best of the best would be cooking liver for dinner once a week. I suppose even eating it raw with that meal would actually be even better, where you're chewing it and really digesting it well, but I don't like the taste of liver. I think it's very bitter, so I'm going to give you my better than good, probably not the best option. And this is also how I get liver into my diet every single day. I've noticed a huge difference in my mood when I eat liver, and honestly, the nutrients in that meat is better than most supplements out there. So what do? I swallow beef liver raw, frozen. Essentially, I freeze it for a couple of weeks to kill any bacteria, if you're afraid of bacteria. That step really ensures that it's safe. I chop it up into pill-sized pieces and I store it in my freezer. Then I will literally just swallow it with some water, maybe some juice every morning, and I don't even taste the liver. I also don't have a problem digesting it raw and frozen. And you guys, it's so nutritious. So I know that it can seem kind of crazy, but I'll leave a link below to a video where I show you exactly how to do that. And I'm often on Instagram showing my followers how I do that on a daily basis. So check out my account at The Holistic Guide. It's super easy and the benefits are huge. But if you aren't quite ready for that, the good option is going to be taking a desiccated beef liver capsule. The reason this method isn't my top choice is because some of the nutrients are lost in the dehydration process, and it can be very expensive over time. But listen, if that's all you can manage right now, it's still a really, really good option. Beef liver in any form is so rich in iron, and it has dramatically helped some of my more finicky symptoms like fatigue and brain fog go completely down to a zero. My third and last but not least tip is going to be meat stock. Now listen, if you haven't watched my meat stock video, I will link it below, but I go into how I make it and all the steps and details of making it properly for your optimal healing, and I really recommend looking at that. My husband and I go through about 2.5 to 3 gallons of meat stock a week. I know that sounds like a lot, but that's again because we're going for some healing speed. We want to heal quickly. I feel really good on it, and honestly, we've really grown to just enjoy it as being like kind of like a comfort food, something that I just sip at night or sip in the morning. Watch your body and watch what you can tolerate, but it is great to have a lot of meat stock. And the reason is because the gelatin and the collagen and all the amino acids that are found in the bones and the cartilage and the connective tissue end up in the meat stock, and those things are very healing to your gut, and as a byproduct, it's healing to your whole body. But now, if you aren't ready to batch cook meat stock by 2.5 to 3 gallons, like I show in my video, I think a really good option is just to make chicken soup every week. So just one meal. It doesn't need to be every single day. Just make one meal a week, 1 of 7. Grab some chicken or some wings or some other meaty bones, whatever you can find at the grocery store or farm. Bring it to a boil and put it on simmer with some salt and herbs and veggies, and it is gold for healing and sealing the gut. It's just 2.5 hours. You don't even really do anything, and this meat stock is really gonna be super soothing. Meat stock is the backbone of the GAPS diet, so it's the third on the list, but it's definitely not the least important. Maybe it's the most important. But jar up the leftovers and drink it when you feel like you want it. I think you might find that your body actually craves it more than you would actually imagine. Now, the better option is going to be to make a big batch of it and drink it throughout the week. Like I said, that's in my video and I'll show you how to do that. But the best option, and I also show how to do this in that video, is going to be blending in the skin and cartilage and connective tissue with a blender into your meat stock and drink that stock every day. It's going to have a lot of nutrients now, especially because the skin and the connective tissue are where some of those really key building blocks are for healing that gut. So if you're feeling brave and you're willing to go for it with an immersion blender or even just a regular blender, my husband and I have gotten so used to this, it really doesn't bother us at all at this point, and it really is so much more nutrient dense. It's a really good way to save on waste and maximize that healing. The reason that buying meat stock in a store isn't on my list is because I haven't yet to find a brand that I could actually recommend honestly, but if you have a source that you trust and you want to buy meat stock from them, by all means go for it. It's always more affordable to make it on your own, but that isn't always possible. So again, do what you can. That's going to be the most sustainable. So anyway, these are just a few ways that I recommend people getting started. These are powerful, powerful ways to get started, and starting where you can is always going to be the best than just feeling frozen and stuck. Finding those little ways that can be sustainable for your lifestyle is going to be the best option for you. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to like this video and subscribe. I make a new video like this one every single week, and it's my passion to really walk alongside people as they heal and grow. It inspires me and hopefully brings encouragement to you. I will see you in my next video.